Hi everybody, it's Nanny Cave with Eric Hill's Papercraft Studio. I'm proud to say we're at the flip through of the Junk Journal July 2024 Challenge Journal. We have a closure that is made of a rope and attached to a ring, so it can easily go around any thickness after you get a hold of this journal and start putting things in on your own. As the gator grows, the closure band can grow with you. We have a tassel on the end. It's secured with a ring, an embedded ring. You can detach the tassel. Dangle. We usually call it a dangle. I'm not sure where tassel came from today. The original cover that you've seen while we've been working in it is coffee dyed. It started out as a beige fabric with black writing. I coffee stained the fabric. There's a second layer of fabric across the spine that we replaced, and there's a separate video for the replacement of the spine that we did when it got too fat for the 1/2 inch spine that I originally started out with. Now it has a 1.5 inch spine. There's a second layer of fabric and a third layer of crocheted fabric. Embellishments of 2 fabric butterflies made out of wire and mesh with small embellishments. The corners have the corner protectors. Here's the back. You can see the layering of fabric a little better here. Here's a close-up of where the dangle attaches to. It does have a signature string bead embellishment. If you choose to, you can take that embellishment, you can clip this off, take the beads out, and add it to your removable dangle if you'd like. Some people like the bead embellishment from the signature. Some people do not. It can be, when you get the journal, you can clip it off and change it and add it, just tie it onto your spine dangle if you prefer. Works perfectly fine like that. Inside we have Junk Journal July 2024. So you remember that that's what started the whole journal. We also have the list of prompts that were followed to construct the journal with. The first page, first prompt. The reason I get up in the morning, coffee. The prompt was spark. And I included our junk journal official coffee cup, making junk journals like it's $18.99. We have those on sale on crafttoys.com, which is where this journal will be, at crafttoys.com. 2 T's. Just spell craft and then toys.com. That's our website. So we had this coffee cup tucked in there, but we had a separate little tuck for spark, which is embellished with I want to call them rivets, for heaven's sakes. Eyelets. There we go. Stamping. And some tags. Second prompt was postcard. We have a postcard. It's from 1923. It's postmarked from Miami, Florida. And the postcard is from the Halcyon Hotel. It is a bit of history involved with this postcard, as the hotel no longer exists. It's a very important piece of ephemera. We've got some original actual postage stamps also. Some tag strips with stickle embellishment. And there's our prompt in its tuck for postcard. There's a half of a decorative stamp on the back. We drew a postcard. It says, "Wish you were here, just living the sweet life." And this is a paper rentable, one of our digital printouts. I added some journaling pages. The journal started out just as a tutorial reference type journal. It was meant to fully display the techniques making the decorations within the journal itself. And I wasn't trying to make it into a journaling journal where you would actively write in it. When we replaced the spine, I added 10 sheets of paper, which added 40 more pages. There is 40 pages of journaling or clear pages to write in now. So it is both a technique journal, reference journal, and a writing journal now. Multifunctional. And there's some of the writing pages. All pages, every single page has been coffee dyed. These have been stamped. There has been some stamping and stenciling on every page, usually to border the page before writing. This is some textured paper applied to the page. Textured glitter paper. This prompt was for fold. It fits in her hemline. Put a little tuck right there. Now this was an interesting new technique that we introduced. It was introduced so to display an interesting way of adding some writing space and featuring a picture at the same time using a fold. Now what you can do is use, let's just say for instance you have a pet that you wanted to memorialize in one of your journals, and you would take a picture of your pet and use this technique then to write something about the pet on the actual picture, but I'll show you how that works. I'll also explain our band here at the end of displaying how fold works. So we're going to take this off. Now you can just pretend, well, I'm not going to take it off, but you just slide it to the end. You can just pretend this is a picture of your dog and you wanted to write something about him. So you would write in between the folds. This is a little difficult to show just how long and how much writing space this adds. It adds a lot of writing space. And I joined two pieces of paper together to get the length that we have here. And then to put it back together into a picture, so you can write right in between your picture strips. You ladder step the picture back into place in a ladder step fold. Now, when I originally had it here, I attached two ribbons, one on a top, one on the bottom, and tried to tie it together here. When you stood the page up, there's too much weight here. It just kept flopping forward on this side a little bit. It could not hold it tight enough just by tying a bow right here. I thought about it overnight. Now, all of this is documented in some techniques, the technique to do this fold with in individual videos. So you can look at those in specific. But then I thought about it overnight. I took a really stiff piece of cardstock, covered it with washi tape, put some eyelets in, slipped the ribbon through the eyelets, and now we can slide the band all the way down to the page and then tie a bow. It holds it very securely, nice and snug. It holds your picture together, and it's a really decorative but secure way to hold your fold page down, and try to tie it pretty tight, and that way it can do its job to hold the fold picture pretty snug to the page. And I didn't do a good job of that at all, but that's okay. I can tighten it up. There we go. And just to weight the ribbon down a little bit, I just put some of the safety pins, the light bulb safety pins on the end, just to give it a tiny bit of weight. Another new technique I introduced was the hat band display that we put together with a paper doll for the prompt. If I can fish it out here, labels. When we wanted a unique, instead of just putting a bunch of jars and putting some labels on and say, oh, there's labels, we decided we'd use hat labels. And I thought that, okay, we'll figure out a cute and unique way to display labels, or the concept of labels. So I came up with the paper doll lady, and she has a lot of hats on her hat rack. Which hat will you wear today? So she has her hat rack to choose what hat she's going to wear today. And we wear many hats during our lives, don't we? And the hats are labeled faith, hope, love. What's this one upside down? Charity, and respect. Today she's wearing a respectful hat of respect. What if you want to change how you want to approach today? So you need to focus a little bit on some faith today. You would change. Now, I named her Annabelle Lee from one of my favorite songs. You would change Annabelle Lee's hat to faith. And you can also take Annabelle Lee out and set her on your desk, maybe, so that you can focus on faith today. I'll put her hat on a little better. There we go. And when you're ready for Annabelle Lee, that holds her hand down, the little band I've got right there, so it doesn't get up in the crease and get bent. And she can go rest in her hat shop. I used some Chinese gold ink to embellish and also paint in the hat rack. And all of the hats are embellished with the Chinese ink and some fabrics, swaths of fabrics, rope, bows, little crocheted pieces. It was a fun project. A 2-page spread. Okay, the next one has a tuck in the corner and is for lettering. That was the prompt for this page. This is one of our paper-printable Victorian ladies writing a letter herself at her desk using her feather pen. We did some lettering and stickles on the side, an eye chart, some large stenciling of letters and numbers, had a receipt of letters and numbers, some more stenciling there and there. And a sticker with the letter. That is a stamp on a plain page for writing. More journaling pages that have been stamped and stenciled. This particular page here is for wildlife. And these are my wildlife characters. Now, they sometimes run into trouble, have a problem that they have to deal with. And I've got these flaps held down by a paper clip, a music paper clip. And it was holding a tag on the other side as well, but it also holds down our tip ends. And this is where the wildlife lives. Kind of a dark, spooky forest. You got a tag up top with a little friend on it. You could write on the back of that. And there's a bottom where all the little friends are kind of peeking out around the trees. That was done with white paint pen and black Sharpie. It's a small, tiny tuck there that says love and peace, and it's in between the wolf and one of our little rabbit friends. And I found a sticker out of a sticker book that said "Courage, dear heart." That's came out of something written by C.S. Lewis. So close up their forest of courage. And just go ahead and turn this over without putting that back right quick. This tag is observe, and that was what was held on by the paper clip that we had. Of course, we've got all kinds of insects to observe in our magnifying glass that was just simply constructed out of a ring that was cut out separately and a straight strip of paper and stickled with gold stickling. And this will hold the flap down as well when we put the paper clip back on, as well as hold this prompt. And I forgot to show the other side, but it was just some random design. This is an insert. The middle of the signature is here. The insert is held in with this washi strip, washi tape strip on this side. We put it in, so this is not a part of the original signature. This is cardstock, a pretty heavy cardstock that we cut out with an X-Acto knife. And you can find prompt number 7 will walk you through making this replica of a stained glass window. You can also find an individual video about making faux vellum paper in our selection of videos. And if I can get it, yeah, I can get the light behind it good enough to see just how transparent that is and how pretty and stained glass like it is. Really neat. Beautiful insert for the junk journal. And there's our prompt. It also has just this clip holding a little journaling spot in place that also has a fold. Lots of tucking areas, but that was put there so that we could put our prompt in. This is scraps. And a bookmark made of scraps. An old drawing scrap. We used scraps of a tea bag. Glued it in a ruffle. These are just little scraps. Scraps of fabric. Scraps cut into hearts. Bits and pieces and a little tuck over in the corner. With some more scraps. To me, scraps was rather easy to do because that was basically everything that I had. Right. Thread. We wanted to do an unusual thread pattern. This holds the prompt card I put in. A tag with thread on it. And we used the thread to make a structure so that you could slide a picture in. It also fits into this little pocket here. There's a journaling page. More journaling page. I believe this is just something that I put randomly in here, I believe. It's a covered paper clip. And for some reason it doesn't want to let go. I know I didn't glue it in here. I added a piece of glue right here because there was it must have got onto the page itself. But there's nothing on the back of this paper clip. It's just covered on both sides. And I'll free it up when I have time. But it was also holding this little tiny journal booklet that I made. And it had, this must have been for scraps because yeah, that's right. It was a little booklet that I made for scraps. So it should actually be over here with scraps. think it got misplaced over here. I'll get it back to where it belongs. So I'll have to work on freeing that up without messing our page up. But that's just a little journal. Tiny journal of scraps. Journaling pages. And this is the journaling page, but it's just got a random set of crossed belly bands, basically. And it has a old tea tag with a charm attached to it. And the word essential. And this tag, it's a shiny tag that says love. And a paper rentable, one of the little girls that we have in a series of little girls in the field with flowers that I drew. And that's what is on this page. But it's basically a journal page with a lot of things stuck into the bands. This is out of place a long way because it was toward the end of the prompts with shine. And when I redid the signatures, it moved toward the middle of the journal. But shine definitely does shine. It's got a lot of shine going on. I'm not sure how well I can illustrate that or pick that up for the camera. But it was done with a lot of detail. You can see where it was cut out. It, of course, is one of our paper rentable Victorian lady silhouettes. This is very shiny, very ornate embroidery ribbon. And this is our button for shine on a shiny button. You can really see the detail. All the detail was cut out with an X-Acto knife also and painted with Chinese inks. There's washi tape, and this is satin ribbon at the bottom and top. I believe it accomplishes shine very well. There's more journaling pages. That's the bottom part of one of our paper rentables. The lady's skirt, the one that you saw at the beginning of the signature. This is signature number 2. It started out with some a journaling page. This is stamps, I believe. Yes, the prompt stamps. So we did manual stamping, and also in a pocket here included some other stamps besides the stamps that were placed on the page itself. So we stamped on it, included stamps, have pictures of stamps, and wrote the word stamps. I think we got stamps covered. This is a journaling page on this side. I love the way that the splatter came out on this page. I was happy with that, but it's a journaling page. And this has a envelope that unfolds. I call it a birdie envelope, and it's a gift envelope. This is a envelope of black tea that's in the gift envelope. And when you construct this envelope, it has like a birdie mouth that you put the tip into. So that tip in fits in there to hold it shut. And this prompt is for packaging. You may recognize this packaging and the stamps and this tiger. This is Bengal spice. That's another clue. It's tea. And we had this in there. There we go. Hold that down. Just to help hold it flat since it's bowing out a lot, and I did not glue it. I used that to kind of hold it together. Help give it a little support. This is from the packaging itself. The sayings that were on the packaging and Blend Master's notes. Could be used as a bookmark. And we put some rhinestones here, did some sewing, did some stamping. For this page, I was at a loss, and I'm not saying not at a loss. I was just not particularly wanting to separate several prompts to get that kind of fit together. So I did 13 and 14 and 15 together, which included weather and homemade, light and homemade. And I had this saying in mind. There was a stamp here of a bird for outside, everything outside. And this is actually a picture of a field, and I wound up putting the belly band across the picture of the field so you couldn't tell what it was. So I realized that after the fact. But anyway, that's what it was. And the saying says, "May you see as well in the light as in darkness, forever clear skies until rain is needed." And I included just a little tag with a pocket. And that looked even like a little purse to me. It's just another decorated tag inside of a tag, inside the pocket. And that goes in the belly band. The belly band is transparent. It's a piece of that faux vellum I was talking about that we made the window out of, stained glass window. Aged is our next prompt. I usually do age things in my journals already, but this one is particularly aged. I thought I'd made that into a folder. No, it's just an insert, and it's in a cutout pocket here. Decoration on the back. It's been backed. That's one of our paper rentable ladies, embellished with some Chinese ink. Some stickles make the frame around this paper rentable Victorian lady out having tea. That's what was inserted here. And this actually has 3 pockets. There's one there. And there's one here on the front of it. And there's one here. And that just held a place to put a pretty shiny little insert. You could put a little hidden message or something in there. Some stamping, and some stickers. And in every journal, I will put Wolfie somewhere. Here's Wolfie. Wolfie is our favorite mascot. Search and find Wolfie in Nana Kay's journal. He's in there somewhere. But that's Wolfie. or journaling pages. This is petal. I think we can see which thing was made to represent petal. It's made out of tea bags. And that's some of the distress ink in pink. I don't recall. Let me see. It's picked raspberry pink. I painted this representation of petal with a glass ink pen and some inks. It's not watercolor, but it's ink. And then covered the edging with lace. And our insert covers up the petal picture that I drew with the ink pen. So it's kind of like a nice little surprise. And this is an insert. A fold that you can write in. And this is our prompt petal with an eyelet, a safety pin, and a charm. And some rhinestones on the back. And this is tag. I made a heart tuck for our prompt tag. That does not come up, but the framework here is done with the stickle formulation in a bottle. And this is our very large tag made out of a collage de board, decorated with stickles and stamping, painting, stenciling, and of course edging with the inks. You can write on the back. It's a translucent belly band made out of some plasticized paper. I used tissue paper and a mixture, 70-30 mixture of white glue and water, and painted the tissue, one layer of tissue. There's washi tape here, bordered with rickrack. Also got a piece of ephemera here that's been edged, and the whole page is edged. And this page features a paper rentable. I mentioned earlier I did some drawings, silhouette drawings of little girls in a field of flowers, and they're handing the flowers to each other. It's been embellished with Chinese red ink, gold ink, black ink. That's a piece of ribbon across here. And inside, turned it into a pocket. There is, around the edge of the page, I put the trim. It's burlap, woven burlap trim. And this is an old birthday card from the 1920s. For your birthday, this brings good wishes in rhyme for happiness in birthday time. And a beautiful picture on front. I believe it says from Mrs. Rose Gabriel, something like that. But this is a hidden paper clip. It's got a perfume jar on one side that's embellished with gold stickles. Put a little piece of ephemera there. On the other side, It has one of my Paperintable ladies sketches in a beautiful black suit with a matching black hat, and it has rhinestones at the top, but it also opens up. So it's give love, it's free. And that's the theme of this particular page. That was the prompt, is free. So the little girls, to me, illustrated that you can give love, it's free. I need that long piece on the back. Get it set up properly again. That way we can slip it back in the little girl pocket. Give love, it's free. Put the tag back in tag. Everybody's together. There we go. This is colors. A layout of color. Purple, green, pink, blue, black, brown. And I included a lot of stamps in here, just of different colors. Sage, purple, orange, a different color blue. So that goes in those stamps go in the pocket. It's a pinch. And also this was drawn with the ink glass pen and inks that I have. And I fussy cut them out. And that should have been at the bottom of the flowers, but I made a pocket out of it instead, since it was too long. Waste not, want not. That's the prompt colors. That's some silk that I bought. These silks. That's just a piece of the silk with colors written on it. You may remember the frame technique. This is the new tip-in frame technique that I put into this journal. And it's a tip up and a tip down to reveal the pictures that I framed with the tip flaps. These flaps here. And this is mesh. I did a lot of embellishment with some iridescent paint. Iridescent stain type paint. And the bottom goes up first, like that. And the top one comes over the top. And this line of lace and these are weighted down so that it holds it shut. But you have your picture frames of two of our beautiful printable ladies from our Paper-Intables collections. This is the middle of the second signature. This flips up. It was a challenge to me because I had not, someone asked me if I had done any magazine collages. I have not in a very long time. So I decided this was going to be a collage for timeless. I needed this clock right here, so I decided to do the whole entire collage in magazine cutouts. So we have Rose and several watches. This large watch, which is a Van Cleef and Arpels watch. Really unusual. I believe these people walk back and forth across the bridge on your watch, if I'm not mistaken. It's timeless. And I halfway covered up less. So daytime, fast time, lifetime, everything has to do with time. So sit back and enjoy the exceptional. Don't waste your time. And this was a cutout that I did from a magazine that was dated August 31st, 1996. I remember getting that magazine. It was an old craft freebie magazine It was called Freebies. You might remember it too. I'm sure quite a few of you got the Freebies magazine back in the day. Okay, this is poetry, or poetic. And here's our prompt number 27, poetic. And so I folded it up so we could put it in a little mini band here and hold it for us. And it says, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Our page for poetic. Another journaling page. Now this is 2 pages from the original. I took the first page here, folded it down, glued it in the middle, made these 2 pockets here. So there's a pocket for this picture up top, and a pocket for this tag down bottom. This little heavier than paper piece of card kind of holds it down together. But you can open it up and write on it. And this is inside a book page for ephemeral. And there's a bonus Wolfie. He happened to be on my book page here that I wanted to include. A very old, very worked book page. It caught lots of crafting action. That's pretty evident. And this is tea dye and shade together, and it's shades of tea. These are actual places where tea bags were placed on the page itself. And it's topped, so those are pieces of tea bag. That's tea bag, that's tea bag. The shades of tea. Simple concept. More journaling pages. This is for button. Of course, we have our central button right here. There's a piece of stamped card. Well, it's a printed card. It's got buttons on it. And a silhouette with a cute little bird. Cute little card. Did some stamping. Had some lace. Some sewing. Sewed in just a paper ruffle. Did some stickling. This is a printed music card. Got music on it with the dragonfly. Made a corner tuck. And it says, one small button can be the difference between faithful or unfaithful, trust or distrust, truth or lies, unbroken or broken. This is wrapped around. I didn't do anything with it. I figured I'd just tuck something in there when I got around to it, and I managed to miss it before I did the walkthrough now. That's too wide. Rats. I like that card. It's just a throwaway card. I like it. I have a little pocket that's got a few little things stuffed in there. That's a piece of paper. and a tag. I'll come back and add a ribbon or something to our tag there. But for now, it'll hold us a spot. There we go. More journaling pages. That's the textured glitter page. This is contrast. I had a lot of fun with this design. Drew a lady's face and had to contrast it backwards. I had a lot of fun doing that. It's been a while since I had tried doing something like that. Gonna put a little band there and put our contrast tag to remind us of what prompt it was. And there's just 2 butterflies, but there's lots of contrast. Round and square, or oval and not oval. Black and white, up and down, up, down. Smooth, rough. I don't know what the butterflies are for, except for they're cute and I like them. They didn't really contrast with anything though. Maybe insect and human. There you go. Good contrast. And our very last page, celebrate. Celebrate is the prompt for the very last page. I did a whole page in stickers, because I had not done a sticker page in a very long time either, just like the magazine page. So I pulled out all the stickers and found celebrate. I think that's what made me remember the sticker books. I hardly ever use stickers. So I just put something together to celebrate vacation. See, sun fun, getaway, happy planning, soaking in the sun, celebration, remember this moment. So I went to the computer and printed out just a family on the beach. And I said, okay, I want a family on the beach. And I want to make it look like a picture of a vacation. A real picture. So I took my ruffle scissors and went around the edges and printed it out so it would have a border, and aged it with the inks on the edges and in the back. Also wrote on it like people used to do when you had actual photograph albums. So I just put that it was George, Margaret, Bobby, and Randy on vacation in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, May 1952, Sands Hotel. So this is all fictional. So if this resembles anybody in any way, this is not a real vacation picture like that. And those are not real people. That's not the real people in this picture. So I'll get that back in its little tuck if I can. Because the sticker is not very tight, not taut, not heavy. So it bends a little bit. Got to work with it. And we're at the back cover. Our beautiful paper printable that I covered the inside with, the dragonflies and peach-colored flowers. And there you have it. That is the full walkthrough, flip through of our challenge junk journal that we will have on crafttoys.com. Now that's where, if you're interested in buying it, we certainly appreciate it. We'd love to have it in a new home that would be eager and willing and able to jump right into journaling into it. Like I said, it didn't start out as a journaling journal. It started out as a tutorial, an example journal, a reference journal, just because we were basing the pages, completing the pages based on the prompts that were given for the challenge. But when I had to redo the spine, I wanted to turn it into a functional writing journal, and so we did. I hope you enjoy, and this is the closure. I'll just leave it off for now. I hope you enjoyed our flip through. Thanks for joining in. Talk to you soon.